Bitcoin Miami kicks off this week, and Tron will have a presence at the conference. Now, I was recently at another crypto conference, Consensus in Austin, and saw Tron had a booth there on the floor of the convention center. So I'm wondering, why is it so important for you to have a presence at these crypto conferences, and what are you hoping to accomplish?
Yes, definitely. Both Tron and Huobi has been the sponsor for Bitcoin events and consensus for so many years. Because I know U.S. is a very important community. Even today, the regulatory environment in for crypto might be a little bit backwards. But definitely, I think the future is very promising. And we want to continue to engage with community members together to build a very strong Bitcoin and crypto ecosystem. So Huobi and Tron, we always love to be a part of it. So that's why we also sponsor Consensus for many years, I think 4 or 5 years already. And we want to continue to contribute in the growth of crypto community.
What do you mean exactly when you say the regulatory environment here in the US is a little backwards? Can you expand on that?
Sure, definitely. Recently, we have seen SEC has sent a well notice to Coinbase, and also they have basically performed legal action against Bittrex, Kraken, Gemini. Basically, I think most of the crypto exchange in United States. But eventually, I think this will all be decided by judge. And I definitely believe the future is bright. We might have a little bit up and downs in the process, but eventually we will get there.
Speaking of the SEC, they actually came after you and your companies. In an interview from February that I had watched, you were flat out asked if there was wash trading of your tokens taking place, and you said, of course not. And then a little less than 2 months later, you were hit with charges from the SEC for just that, among other things. Specifically, the SEC charged you and your companies with fraudulently manipulating the secondary market for TRX, Tron's native token, through, quote, extensive wash trading. What's your response to that?
So first of all, our legal team will handle this procedure, and I believe eventually SEC is only the one who bring the complaints, right? Eventually, it will decided by court, and currently, I think for our business itself, is not operate in United States in any way. So that's why I won't worry too much about that.
So the agency specifically claimed that from at least April 2018 through February 2019, you allegedly told your employees to engage in more than 600,000 wash trades of TRX between two crypto trading platform accounts you controlled, with between 4.5 and 7.4 million TRX wash traded daily. The SEC said that the, quote, scheme required a significant supply of TRX, which you allegedly provided, and that you also allegedly sold TRX into the secondary market, generating proceeds of $31 million from what the SEC said were illegal, unregistered offers and sales of the token. I know you said that you don't really operate in the US, but the SEC, the US agency, is in fact charging you for these allegations. So what is your response to all of that?
Yes, sure, definitely. I think first of all, it's handling by our legal team. And also, of course, since we don't operate, in United States at all. So also, basically, the either like myself, like BitTorrent, or Tron Foundation, which we have dissolved like a long time ago, it's all based outside of United States. So eventually, I think this is gonna decided by court.
You did, in fact, issue a statement reacting to the charges on Twitter immediately after you were charged, writing that the SEC civil
Yes.
complaint is just the latest example of actions the agency has taken against well known players in the blockchain and crypto space, and that you believe the complaint lacks merit. Does that statement still hold true? Is there anything you would like to add to that?
Yes, I definitely believe those complaints lacks mirror, and I think we will let our legal team handle that, and I believe and eventually we will sort it out.
I know you said you're going to let your legal team handle this, but what was your reaction when you and three of your companies were charged by the SEC with fraud and other securities violations? Were you surprised, or did you see this coming at all? Did they give you any notices, any warnings?
We didn't receive anything before this brings out, so but I feel peace since we didn't do anything wrong, right? So and also, like I said, we doesn't just operate in United States at all. So that's why I won't worry about it. And also, I think the same time we believe crypto adoption in this journey, right? So always we might have some backwards, right? Goes ups and downs, but eventually I think the future is bright, and we will eventually get there.
So, a United States court issued a summons to addresses in Singapore believed to be yours in connection to the SEC civil case. In the filing from April 12th, the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York ordered you to respond to the summons within 21 days. Did you respond to that summons?
I think this is very complicated law procedures, which I think media misinterpreted it. But I'm not like a legal expert, but my legal team explained to me, so they will handle it, and I mean this is gonna be basically eventually handled by the legal department.
So I know you're saying that your legal department will handle this, but according to the court, judgment by default will be entered if you did not respond. Do you know if your legal team did in fact respond? Did they plan to respond to that summons or address the SEC charges at all?
I don't have much information on this one particular.
What do you think about the continued crackdown on crypto companies here in the US and the SEC's approach of regulation by enforcement? What do you think about that?
So I believe SEC has lost lots of credibility on those legal action, right? When they first take legal action against probably few exchange, people will feel like the complaints they bring probably has some foundation, but after they basically go after everyone, every players in the space, I think eventually SEC will face a pushback, right? I think they already see Coinbase also file complaints against them. I think they will eventually have backlash on the action they take.
Now, a few days after the SEC charged you and your companies, it came out that you were no longer a diplomat for Grenada, a role you held since December 2021 when you were appointed by the government there. Now, the Grenada Broadcasting Network reported that you had been stripped of the status sometime after the elections back in June, when the party which granted you the position was ousted by the National Democratic Congress. When did you find out that you lost your diplomatic status exactly? Was it in March when you confirmed the news via Twitter, or did you find out before?
So I find out basically basically everything is already been said on Twitter. So I think I know this basically the same day. So I posted on Twitter. So and we have this very smooth handover. So all has been stated in my Twitter.
So you found out in March and then you tweeted that out in March, correct?
Exactly, yes. And also, I want to say it has nothing to do with the election, right? So even some people may see like 6 months ago, there is a leadership change in Grenada, but it has nothing to do with that, I believe. Overall, our report is not accurate.
So what was your reaction when you were stripped of that status, and has anything changed for you since then?
I think it's not like strip of status. So it's just like change of position. So after serving the Grenada ambassador to WTO for around 18 months, so I don't serve this position anymore.
So, when everything was unfolding with FTX, you reportedly said that you were prepared to provide the crypto exchange with billions in aid to show unity in the crypto industry, but that the funding was subject to due diligence. In fact, hours after Binance pulled the plug on a potential deal to acquire FTX, you tweeted that you were putting together a solution to initiate a pathway forward. You ultimately did not help out the now bankrupt crypto exchange with billions of dollars. Why is that? Was it something you discovered during the due diligence process, perhaps?
So first of all, I think we did have like a plan comes out with FTX at that time to offer a way to withdraw TRX, BTT, HT, JST, Sun, like other tokens on FTX exchange. But the overall bailout plan hasn't been conclude. One of the reason is because like hours after we released the plan, actually, the law firm like take control of FTX and decided to shut down FTX exchange completely. That's why I think our rescue plan eventually didn't succeed.
Did Sam Bankman-Fried ever come to you and straight up ask you for money as his crypto exchange was going under in November?
Yes, at that time, we discussed with FTX team and Sam about like any plans at that time to help the exchange user to get back their funds. But I mean, hours after we talked, he lose control of the exchange, and everything went chaotic as we can see, right? Yeah.
How much money did he ask you for?
At that time, I think the initial plan we are talking about is at least billions of dollars for a rescue plan.
Was that your last correspondence with him? Was that the last time you spoke with him when he asked you for that money?
Yes, after I think he lose the control of FTX platform, we didn't talk anymore.
In January, we reported here on our show that you told Reuters you were ready to buy up Digital Currency Group's assets and were willing to spend up to $1 billion on those assets belonging to the company behind a bunch of crypto businesses like Genesis. A few days after you reportedly made those comments, Genesis filed for bankruptcy. Now, you didn't tell Reuters which assets you were interested in, but in an interview from February, I heard you say you were interested in potentially buying CoinDesk, which is an independent operating subsidiary of DCG. In that interview, you said you had contacted their investment bank. So where does that all stand now?
I think still in process. I can't give much of the details, but I think this is still in process.
So are you still interested in buying CoinDesk?
I can't comment on specific this one, but I think still, I mean, DCG is still in the markets, right? So I think they are still talking with all their creditors about finding a financial solution eventually. So I will say this one is still in the process.
Are you currently considering buying up the assets of any other distressed crypto company?
Yes, definitely. I think right now, after 3 months, the overall environment has been way better than will be in 3 months ago. But still, I think we are willing to help. And also wants to continue to contribute on the crypto industry development.
I'm going to go back to Bitcoin Miami because obviously it's happening this week. But what are you expecting from Bitcoin Miami, especially amid the current downturn? It's definitely going to be a different mood there this year after everything that has transpired in the crypto space since the last conference, including all the scandals and bankruptcies.
Yes. First of all, I have been in crypto industry for almost 10 years, since 2012. So actually, even today, right? So if we see thousands of people come to like Miami event, it's still better than like dozens of the people we first have in back to like 2012, right? So I always see like after 10 years, if you look back, we have made like huge progress. Maybe like for each month, right? We see probably some bad news or FUD spread in the crypto community. But overall, if you take long term, right, like a year, 3 years, 5 years, even 10 years progress, you will be impressed by how fast crypto industry has developed since then. So that's why I think Bitcoin Miami this year still gonna be a great event, and I believe every participant will enjoy the events, and next year will be even better.
So you have always been bullish on crypto. I believe you first learned about Bitcoin in 2012, right?
Yes.
And you started investing in
Yes.
it back then, right?
Exactly. So at that time, there is no even have exchange at all. So at that time, MTGOX is the first exchange, right? So you can trade cryptocurrency. And then later in China, there is a few exchange being developed. So after I look back these 10 years, we have achieved so many things in less than 10 years. So that's why I think the next 10, 20 years will be even more promising in the future. Since because when we first start from scratch, we don't have any resources, right? But today, we have over 2,000 people working together to grow our business exponentially. So that's why I believe for the next 10 years, we will definitely achieve more.
What is your outlook for crypto? Are you expecting more layoffs and bankruptcies, or do you think things will start to turn around soon?
Yes, sure. I think 6 months ago, right? So basically, October, like November, is the bottom of crypto. So we have experienced so many bankruptcy and also FUD at that time. And I believe crypto has been gradually recovered from this bottom. So that's why right recently you have seen Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tron token has all grow like I think at least 50% to 100% compared to 6 months ago. So that's why I will conclude we already been in the crypto in the process of crypto summer again. So we have been through the winter, and so that's why I believe for the next 1.5 years gonna be amazing.
So you think we now passed the crypto winter? We're out of the crypto winter now. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Well, you're also an advisor to Huobi. So I'm wondering what's in store for the future of that crypto exchange and your smart contract platform, Tron, of course. What are you focusing on right now?
Yes, sure. For Tron platform, I think we are focusing on stablecoin development, which we have the best advantage in stablecoin. We have USDT, TUSD, USDC, USDJ, and USDD, all different choices of stablecoin. We have grown our stablecoin transaction to over $12 billion per day now, and process over $7 trillion since we launched the platform. And also for Huobi Exchange has gained a lot of attraction in Asia. So we are targeting to be one of the biggest and most popular crypto trading platform in Asia.
So just a few days ago, you tweeted that you decided to begin actively trading meme coins and promising projects through your public address. You wrote that you will personally bear all potential losses from these trades and any profits made will be donated entirely to charity. What made you want to start doing that?
Yes, because I believe trading meme coin is fun, right? So it's not about making any money at all. So I think the overall to understand the web culture and understand like how memes work in crypto and the general community wise, I think it's very interesting. So I read lots of news about Peep and other like a Shiba, right, Doggy, meme coin trading. I feel this is super interesting. So that's why I want to get into it and start to enjoy it.
Anything else you want to say? Anything you can reveal here on Crypto World that you're currently working on or currently interested in? Obviously, you're a big name in the industry. So wondering what you're focused on right now, just in general in the crypto space.
Yes, I focus on like layer 2 solution. SB Tron, we have developed a lot of like ZK, Snack technology. And also I feel I focus on like DeFi development, staking assets and NFT on Tron network as well. And also, of course, Huobi Exchange recently leads lots of meme coin and interesting assets in the crypto space. And we are growing to like one of the largest exchange in Asia. So that's like generally I focus my time on.
I understand you have a relationship with Changpeng Zhao, the CEO of Binance, and recently the CFTC here in the US sued Binance, and they are often making headlines these days. What do you think is going to happen there? And have you been in touch with CZ about all of this?
So Binance and CZ has been one of the most important company in our space. I believe eventually they will find a way out with regulators. And I believe without Binance, crypto industry can't grow much in the future. So that's why I'm super supportive on Binance, Coinbase, like all the exchange, and wants them to eventually to solve everything out with the regulator.
Have you spoken with CZ recently?
Yes, I think probably a week ago. Yeah.
Do you discuss the situation with the regulators here in the US when you do in fact talk?
No. So we basically talk about things in life.
What are you hoping for in terms of regulation here in the US? I know you said you don't operate in the US at all, but still the SEC is going after you. They're charging you and your companies. They're charging the celebrities that promoted your tokens. So what would you say is the situation here in the US? How are you going about it? And what do you think about it, just in a nutshell?
Yes, sure, definitely. First of all, I think the 6 celebrities SEC file compliance has been settled with SEC. I can't
Right,
speak of them, but
there were 8 celebrities charged, and you
yeah,
were spot
yeah,
on. 6 of them settled with the
yeah,
SEC, in total paying
yes,
$400,000.
yes. So eventually, I can't speak for other people, but eventually, I think they will all settle eventually. That's the first thing. And then the second thing, I believe definitely we want regulators to give more clear like guidelines and regulation. So it's easier for the people practice their business to comply that, right? So I think one of the dilemma Coinbase facing today is there's no rules at all for them to comply in the first place, right? So that's why they have urged like SEC to provide clear rules several times. So that's why I think this basically make it's very hard to operate crypto exchange in United States because there's no clear rules for that, and you don't know how to comply with that. But you might bear the consequences to operate like business, right? So which provide lots of uncertainty and the secure of those investment. So that's I think is the number one priority in regulation in United States.
So where do you think is the best place to operate a crypto exchange from a regulatory standpoint?
Right now, I think probably Hong Kong. So we spend lots of time with Hong Kong, like regulators, Huobi operates crypto exchange in Hong Kong, and we are actively apply for Hong Kong license. I think probably we will get in the next 18 months. So I think definitely, I think license the exchange and provide clear guidelines and the rules for them will benefit like everyone in the industry.
You think Hong Kong over Singapore?
Yes, yes.
What do you
Yes.
think is going to happen with Coinbase? How do you think that's going to unfold? Right now, Coinbase actually sued the SEC after they got a Wells notice from the agency. How do you think that's all going to pan out?
Yes, I believe Coinbase will move more of their resources to offshore. Recently, they are. I saw like Brian Armstrong talk to with UAE government in terms of collaboration, and we definitely happy to collaborate with Coinbase after they move offshore. Since we have been like offshore operations for so many years, but eventually, I believe Coinbase is a very important players in United States. So that's why I hope they can continue to operate their US business and grow their business, which I think is super important for the crypto community.
So I take it it's a fair assessment that you have no plans to ever operate in the US.
No, currently no.
And I'm sure part of the reason is the fact that you were charged by the SEC. Does that play into it?
No, I don't think so. It's like overall regulatory consideration.
How do you think that whole situation with the SEC charges against you will pan out?
I think eventually we will find a way out.